The US House of RecRIMINATIONS begins Biden's impeachment. A couple of weeks before the midterm elections, Kevin McCarthy assured voters that House Republicans, if given the majority, wouldn't be so rash as to go on an impeachment binge. "I think the country doesn't like impeachment used for political purposes at all," he told Punchbowl News at the time. "I think the country wants to heal," he added, and avowed that he didn't think anybody in the Biden administration merited impeachment proceedings. The voters gave Republicans a chance, awarding them narrow control of the House. And now Republicans are starting their impeachment binge. Representative Lauren Boebert, Republican Colorado, rose in the House Tuesday evening after the last vote. For what purpose does the gentlewoman from Colorado seek recognition? Asked the presiding officer, Representative Russell Fry, Republican South Carolina. The gentlewoman sought recognition to unveil a parliamentary maneuver that would force a vote within 48 hours on H.Res. 503, impeaching Joseph R. Biden Jr., President of the United States, for high crimes and misdemeanors. No impeachment proceedings. No investigation. No evidence. No crimes. Not so much as a parking ticket. Just a willy-nilly, snap vote to impeach the president, because Boebert dislikes Biden's immigration policies. In her mind, President Biden has intentionally facilitated a complete and total invasion at the southern border, she charged on the House floor. At this, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, Republican Georgia, flew into a fit of jealousy because Boebert had thought to use the maneuver, called a privileged resolution, to force an impeachment vote before Greene got a vote on her articles of impeachment against Biden. Boebert stole her impeachment articles, Greene whined to reporters, calling Boebert that name that every kindergartner fears, copycat. Congresswoman Jewish Space Lasers then confronted Boebert on the House floor and called her a little bee who copied my articles of impeachment, according to a Daily Beast account that Greene confirmed. But Boebert was unmoved, because she's on a mission from God. She filed her impeachment resolution because I am directed and led by Him. By the Spirit of God, she told the Evangelical Victory Channel. God could not be reached for comment. McCarthy, in a closed-door meeting with Republicans Wednesday morning, pleaded with them to oppose Boebert's flash mob impeachment. "What majority do we want to be?" He admonished them, warning that Republicans might give it right back in 2 years if impeachment mania prevails. He eventually persuaded Boebert to accept a watered-down resolution delaying an impeachment vote by first sending it through the Judiciary and Homeland Security committees. On the floor, Boebert exulted. For the first time in 24 years, a House Republican-led majority is moving forward with impeachment proceedings against a current president, she said. This bill allows impeachment proceedings to proceed. Her GOP colleagues made clear on the floor that they saw this vote to be teeing up eventual impeachment for this corrupt head of the Biden crime family syndicate who is responsible for the murders of countless Americans. Vowed Representative Chip Roy, Texas, the Republican floor leader for the impeachment debate, "We are just beginning." Enduring derision from the Democratic side, nutty, pathetic, losers, House Republicans voted, unanimously, for what will, in effect, be the beginning of impeachment proceedings against Biden. Boebert's stunt, along with a general Republican thirst for vengeance after an independent prosecutor secured a 37-count indictment against Donald Trump, has opened the impeachment floodgates. Greene and others can now be expected to play with their new toy, using the privileged resolution maneuver to force impeachment votes against whatever Biden administration official looks at them crossways on any given day. Greene alone has introduced impeachment articles against Biden, the Attorney General, the FBI Director, the Secretary of Homeland Security and the U.S. Attorney in Washington. On Thursday, Greene and GOP Conference Chair Elise Stefanik, New York, introduced resolutions to expunge Trump's 2 impeachments. As usual, McCarthy has only himself to blame for the chaos. The whole thing started last week when freshman Representative Anna Paulina Luna, Republican Florida, introduced a privileged resolution to censure Representative Adam B. Schiff, Democrat California, as payback for his work on Trump's first impeachment. A responsible leader would have quashed such petty vindictiveness, but McCarthy's leadership team threw its support behind the censure resolution and helped rewrite it so that it would pass, which it did Wednesday evening, although a couple of bright lights thought they had voted to censor Schiff. The result is bedlam in the House. Right-wing saboteurs had already shut the entire House down for a week in a symbolic protest. Moderate Republicans, there are a few, then retaliated by defeating the saboteurs' legislation. And now every member has license to hijack the House to pursue vendettas with privileged resolutions. McCarthy had tried to stall his caucus drive for impeachment by setting House committee chairmen loose to launch a series of overlapping probes into whatever catches their fancy. At least 3 committees are investigating Hunter Biden. At least 3 committees are auditioning impeachment articles against Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. At least 3 committees are probing imagined censorship of social media by the administration. Multiple committees are pursuing fanciful conspiracy theories involving public health officials and the supposed weaponization of the FBI, the Justice Department and the rest of the government by the deep state. And, of course, the committees investigate anybody, Jack Smith, Alvin Bragg, who investigates Trump. Exit polls in the midterms showed voters cared most about inflation and abortion, followed by guns, crime and immigration. Yet the House majority just passed a bill to expand access to a common mass shooting weapon and is now moving tax cuts that would aggravate inflation. There's talk that House Republicans next month will take up bills further restricting abortion access, that is, if they can find time between impeachment votes. The US House of RecRIMINATIONS begins Biden's impeachment. A couple of weeks before the midterm elections, Kevin McCarthy assured voters that House Republicans, if given the majority, wouldn't be so rash as to go on an impeachment binge. "I think the country doesn't like impeachment used for political purposes at all," he told Punchbowl News at the time. "I think the country wants to heal," he added, and avowed that he didn't think anybody. Modi's political party has weaponized Bollywood. For weeks now, criticism has been building around Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Washington. The Prime Minister and his Bharatiya Janata Party have been rightly accused of stoking sectarian violence between Hindus and Muslims. Missing in this discussion have been the surprising and quiet ways the BJP has managed to co-opt popular culture, and especially cinema, for its political ends. The Kerala Story, a feature film released last month, is emblematic of this broader trend. The film purports to be a dramatization of a supposedly widespread phenomenon, telling the tale of a Hindu woman who converts to Islam